So you were looking at $1 million home and you realized that, hey, I wanted to do 1.5 million or 2 million. You've spoken with us. We've explained that you can get 500,000 or $1 million from grandparents or parents, and they can do it tax-free by taking advantage of the lifetime exemption. But now you've come back and you said, John, it's still pretty competitive. I realize that it's a much nicer home, and it's not like it's a first home buyer market where I know we're going to be seeing multiple offers, or at least we have been for the last few years. But there's still multiple offers in this price range on the really nice homes, the ones with the views that we like. So how can you help us here, John? And I'm saying, that's great. Now, we're using Encinitas as an example. But let's say you were looking anywhere in the country in a market where you were anticipating the really nice homes get multiple offers, or the great values, or the homes, the renovation homes, where there's a chance, and professionals know it. Here's the price. Here's what the flip price would be, the renovated price. And there's enough room in the middle between those prices. The offers come in. And what do those people do making those offers when they have licenses, when professionals do? They develop a rapport with the listing agent. I've sold close to 200 homes, if not more. And many, many times agents will call up, develop a report, say why they're interested, talk about how qualified they are, how many homes they bought in the area, why they're looking to close, what's great for their family, or they're representing, they're going to flip and they always close. Like, they convince me they're not going to worry about ticky-tacky stuff, that they're a great fit for the seller in terms of time frame. And they're like, and would you, they know it's multiple offers. So then they'll say, would you represent me in this transaction? So essentially on a $2 million home, they might be giving up $40,000 or $50,000 to do it. But why do they do that? Well, they want to be positioned as the buyer that the sellers can work with. And by me developing a rapport with them, me knowing they're financially qualified, I can explain that to the sellers that these people are going to close. As far as I can tell, they've given me all the indications. They're professionals. I understand it. I've seen their bank accounts. I've seen their history of closing. These people are going to close, or whatever the story is. They want to be in position. They also might, and if it's okay with the sellers, I will disclose it. They also want to know where the other offers are. So they say, hey, I'm willing to work with the seller. So you say, John, well, how do I know who the listing agent is, how to call them? And so let's pick Zillow, but you can do this on almost every website. So we go over here. Now, I'm in incognito mode because Zillow knows I'm a real estate agent. So if I go on there, they'll start pitching me things. But this should be very similar to the experience that you would have, although it's always changing. Like Facebook, the interface is always changing. But so here's a random home I just picked before this started in Encinitas, and I'm going to show you what I would do. I would scroll down here. I would absolutely not press a contact agent button, because very likely you'll be in touch with a buyer's agent, an agent who's not representing the sellers on this. And they're not going to know how many offers there are. They're not going to know where the numbers are coming in. They're not going to know, you're not going to be developing a rapport with the listing agent to explain why you're a great buyer if you contact an agent and it's a buyer's agent. Many buyer's agents pay for leads. In fact, they know if they do, they're probably going to get a $40,000 or $50,000 commission. So they're willing to pay a lot of money for you as a lead. You might as well do this for yourself if you're if you want to be a winning agent, if you want to be a winning bidder, you should start off developing the rapport, finding out the information. Then later you can decide to work with a listing agent or work with a buyer's agent, or try to negotiate a little commission rebates, change the floors, whatever it is. But you should start out developing the rapport. So we come down here. We find out it's listed by Craig Schneep. Schneep, I'm going to go with. Sorry, Craig, if I got that wrong. At Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. And then, sometimes in the past, they've had phone numbers here for the listing agent. I'm thinking we're not going to see it on this one now. They're always changing, and sometimes maybe you'll see the phone numbers when they've paid Zillow a marketing fee, and they're a Zillow agent. So they'll get their contact information right up front there. And sometimes you'll see that it's Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services. Now, if I get anybody but the listing agent, I have had stories where I've called up, asked to speak with the listing agent, and it wasn't. And you say, look, I've got questions that only the listing agent can answer. And if they still want to know, you say, well, I'd like to know how many offers there are on the property, if they're expecting any, and if the listing agent's working with any buyers. That's usually going to shut up just about anyone pretending that they can help you and be the listing agent, because they're not going to know the answer to those questions. So that to me is the big screen out right there. Hopefully, in case it's a listing agent, you have first want to develop rapport. But I've called enough of these when looking for homes with my wife. We're driving around. She's got her phone out and she's like calling, and it'll be a fake out. It won't be the listing agent. So, you know, I let them know, hey, I really want to work with the listing agent for multiple reasons. One of them being, I just want to know how many offers there are, if they're working with any buyers themselves, and what the time frames are for reviewing offers, and when I have to see the property. I don't think, well, anyway, much more on this at winnerscheck.org, and find out how to work with us. We can help you. If people are doing asset planning, they want to transfer some assets down to their heirs, we can show people how to do that tax-free. But really interestingly now, if you do it right now, we have a situation where you can set up a consult with myself or Phil Mills. Phil actually is the guy. When I was buying a home in a multiple offer situation, Phil and I had done short sales together for over a decade. So we've helped people, and we always talk. Phil's a great guy. But Phil has such a good rapport with listing agents. He can tell stories forever. But I was in a multiple offer situation, and I could afford to pay more, but I didn't want. I was already concerned. Hey, am I really paying too much? House has doubled since then. But I was concerned at the time, and I probably did overpay by $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. But you know, I just was like, I just don't want to pay another 40 or 50 grand. So Phil, I like, can you call the listing agent and find out some information for me? He comes back and goes, John, I talked to her into explain why you're the person for this property. You're not going to screw around. You've got the money. I told her I've just sold 30 houses with you. You're absolutely qualified. You're the person who can close. You're not going to screw with them. That they want to work with you. It'd be a mistake to work with anybody else. And so she said, if you make a $2,500 higher counter, you'll be the winner. Like, that's how real estate can be done if you do it right. So go ahead to winnerscheck.org, talk to Phil. We've got programs for referrals all over the country. We can help you. A lot of people want to put an attorney on your team. We can help you put an attorney on your team in your market while you're dealing with the listing agent at no extra cost with you if we're getting a referral. We've got some great programs. There's so much money. That's why Zillow can charge thousands and thousands of dollars a month for leads. There's so much money in real estate. That's why Zillow makes billions a year off real estate. There's so much money. You should have the best of everything. You should be well advised. You could have a lawyer on your team, and you should be positioned as the best buyer possible in multiple offer situations. So you get the info and you get the home. And that's what we do. winnerscheck.org. Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.